Hey everybody, and we are here.
Chibnall who?
Oh, this is going to be juicy. We're here to talk about the Chibnall era of Doctor Who. Now, I've just interviewed Josh Coy, who has a very positive outlook on that era. I think you'd agree.
And we're both great friends with him, actually, aren't we?
Yeah, very great friends.
Despite opinion differences. See, it is possible. You don't have to cancel people just because they don't have your opinion.
Listen.
I can see your glasses steaming up already.
No, why would you and Josh Coy disagree, Asa? Why would that be?
Because I've got standards. And so do other fine gentlemen like Balstrack and Nerd Rossick.
No! We did not mention that name here.
Am I banned yet?
You've done enough to get banned within 2 seconds of being on camera, lad. You don't like Chibnall. Yeah. Chibnall bad, some might say.
I don't want people saying I'm not qualified to talk about it because I didn't sit through the whole thing. I didn't want to. I remember I gave up Series 11 after the Spider one.
Oh, Arachnids in the...
With Series 12, I gave up with the Orphan one.
Oh, I think a lot of people... Not even...
Orphan 55.
Not even Joshua Coy likes that. Benny! There's so many things you don't like
Which
about it.
Which one of you hurt my Benny, you bastard?
There's so many things that you don't like about it, but I think it's fair to say one of them is Chibnall and like his approach to the show and what he's decided to do with it. Is that right? What?
I remember everyone saying, give him a chance, give him a chance, give him a chance. And of course I was willing to because I wanted Moffat gone. He was getting very annoying for me. Okay.
Well, you didn't like the Terrible Hartnell trial, no?
Or Clara.
No.
Or how complicated he would have things. And
yeah.
I mean, Moffat's he did need a leash, didn't he? He was at his best when RTD was pegging him and making sure he couldn't be a dom. Or however you want to put it. Am I banned yet? All right, I'll stop pushing you, all right? But listen, every bit of news I heard about Series 11 before it came out just slowly decreased my hype one by one. I don't know what order I heard things in, but so Jodie was cast, first female Doctor. That's a risk. That is a big risk for the show, and I was worried about how they might handle it. Are they going to be really ham-fisted with feminist themes, or are they going to treat it as if it's just another Doctor who happens to be a woman? Or is there going to be good characterization from it? Or, tons of questions, tons of worries. Some stuff might go wrong. Whatever happens, like half the fandom's gone already because they don't like the principle.
Yeah, how do I say? I feel like some of those fans have come back. Now,
Then I would hear that there's going to be 3 companions. It's like, oh shit, they're going to be competing for screen time. Then I heard no classic villains are going to be returning, which is a huge part in welcoming a new Doctor in the process of it. And then I heard he wanted to do more educational episodes. Just everything.
It's going like this for you.
Then I heard there'd be less episodes. Everything I heard was just progressively worse and was killing my hype.
No, exactly. I mean,
and then there was the costume reveal. Remember that?
Oh, with the CGI TARDIS.
Well, there was that as well because everybody thought it looked like Krypton. But the costume with the rainbow shirt and the dungarees and whatever the hell that coat is.
It is an anti-coat, isn't it?
That's what we thought the 6th Doctor's coat was. Now it looks even more gorgeous, that thing, compared to...
This man is a 6th Doctor simp. We're going to put this in the video.
I am a simp for the 6th Doctor. I like how much of a bitch he is. That's how you do it right, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I saw the first episode, and, well, you can't really judge it based on the first one. Well, I don't know. I thought back to, like, the 11th hour.
Yeah.
And how that perfectly introduced its Doctor. So there wasn't enough Doctor, and the Doctor was often explaining stuff. You could tell people were competing for time already. I thought the villain was stupid. Just a blue guy with teeth all over his head.
My man Tim Shaw.
And then we heard, he's going to come back. And that took until like the last episode. It's not exactly a recurring villain or nemesis figure if it's just at the start and then at the end.
Yeah.
So the Doctor didn't win me over. There wasn't really a moment for it. I thought the acting was kind of just weird, you know.
Someone was interviewing very recently. We were talking about the creation of Cyberon and what have you.
Yeah.
And we got onto the topic of how Jodie's Doctor is portrayed. And the amount of time she says she doesn't know what's going on. Or she's
about the amount
something.
of times she says, I like this or I love this.
Yeah.
She just says, I love this. That's not how you do character. It's like reading some kind of children's book, isn't it? Daddy likes his armchair. The vibes I get from her, it's hard to, like, overall, throughout Series 11, before I decided to just quit, she's kind of like a playgroup teacher with how soft and hyped up she is and childish. It's hard to see her as the Doctor. Gender already does that, because for me, he was always a male character. He was always a masculine character. He was boyish or he was paternal, and that was his style. He looked it, he acted it, all that.
He is again, it's always been my view. And I've said this many a times, like, until it happened, I was dead set against it. But once something just happens, you sort of just accept it and move on.
It's very hard to see it as the same character. The sex was the one of the consistencies. It'd be like if you made the Doctor American. It wouldn't be the same. That's just too big a change.
I always jokingly say I'd stop watching if the Doctor American.
And technically, that's just as unreasonable, because anyone can be the Doctor. How dare you be prejudiced? What's wrong?
Well,
there is actually a prejudice of American writers, isn't there?
Well, yeah, we were talking about this, weren't we? In one of the recent interviews, that they don't like taking on Americans.
Well, that's another thing that I heard about before it aired. That who was going to write it? It was unexperienced people who wrote political plays, not sci-fi writers, not Doctor Who writers. That was another bit of bad news that crushed my hopes.
When I heard it, I was like, sick. New people are getting chances. That's wonderful, because a lot of the people who had come back during the that era kind of got tired. Even Mark Gatiss did, in my opinion. I feel like it is good to get new people. It is really good to get new people, but Chibnall
But they need experience in their own right. A lot of the times, the sci-fi element was like an afterthought.
Yeah.
It was like Chibnall just smacked them over the head and said, we need aliens, right? Man, the aliens really suck.
Pating.
The Pating. I can't remember the names. Like, some of them literally do nothing. Remember the aliens in the Demons of the Pudgy Budgy Budgy? They just watch people die and that's it.
Yeah. I didn't even remember there was an alien Demons of Punjab. It's been a long time since I watched it.
The space racist as well.
Yeah, which...
Cracks. Butt crack or whatever he was called. Craxel.
With that story, like, we've discussed before, some stories don't need a villain. Or they don't need an alien. It doesn't
need a sci-fi element. Write it as an episode of something else, not Doctor Who. I don't like pure historicals. I can't pretend I do, okay?
No, you can present many things, but not that.
It's like watching Godzilla where there's no monster.
Me and another friend were talking about this. What if you did it where the Doctor's expecting a sci-fi element? You know, looking around, expecting...
Well, like Listen.
Yeah. So
Listen still had a sci-fi element where it didn't in the future, on that lone planet.
Yeah. I get you.
You can have subversion, but when it's literally just a story where you don't need anything except the Doctor showing up there at the beginning and leaving at the end, it's annoying. And wouldn't you know it, the companions, except Graham, we all like Graham, okay? Graham should have been the Doctor.
I'm gonna say this really quick. Graham kind of sucked in his second series. I don't know if that's a bad opinion at all, but like...
It became a comic relief, but he was still the most charming person there.
Yeah. There was no character to him in the second series, other than the wonderful moment, on his end anyway, where he said he was afraid that the cancer will come back. From his point of view...
was like, LOL! What did Coy say to defend Yaz and Ryan?
He didn't actually mention the companions at all.
Yeah. There really is no defending them after what we had before. Well, what we had before was Clara, never mind that.
They had something good with Graham, and I feel like the reaction was he wanted the other two companions to be the focus. So he deliberately made Graham more annoying.
He truly actually just seems like he's there as like an assurance that some people are going to watch.
Because he's the known name, etc.
Because it's obvious he wants to focus on Yaz and Ryan. That's why they have a few conversations. They're supposed to be deep, but they just don't have any character. because then you lean back on Graham and stuff. And
it's the saddest thing to me because, as you know, and I'm going to mention the 80s again, kill me, but my favourite TARDIS team is the Fifth Doctors.
Speaking of the Fifth Doctor and the 13th Doctor, how about being morally fucked? The 13th Doctor's morals are all over the damn place, man. They're not balanced. They're not handled well.
The Kablan episode.
Example, as soon as I saw her like suffocating spiders in a safe room, instead of letting Mr. Unsubtle Trump, representative for the series, shoot one in the back of the head, which is nice and swift, and certainly the way I would rather go, and then calling him out on that and trying desperately to make him a villain. They fucked it up so bad that when they made him come back for the New Year's one or Christmas one, whatever, they just really tried to make him a villain because they failed to do it the first.
Yeah,
it seems so much more opinionated as well, this series. Maybe not political, but opinionated.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Yes. Is that the better way to say it?
Absolutely, because Doctor Who has always been political. Do I need to bring up the maggots again?
It's always the Green Death. And if always it's not the Green Death, it's the Candyman.
And if it's not the Candyman, it's the entire second and third Doctor's era. Don't forget, most of 2-0 was written by a communist. Just putting that out there for you.
And did he shove it in?
Not particularly. There were a few stories where he went like, "This is meant to be an attack on capitalism," but you have opinions. You can't. It's very hard to be subjective when you write something.
Like, he must have had an abusive dad because there's so many abusive dads. Graham's the only exception. He's barely a dad.
Yeah.
Ryan doesn't relate to him for some reason. There's fans watching like, oh, when are they going to high five? Bollocks. Except no, they don't actually because they're gone. Did they ever do it?
No. They have the whole build-up of him actually calling him dad. I don't know if they ever high-fived.
They've just blue balled us there.
Yeah.
And the Grace ghost.
Can we discuss how interesting Grace was compared to the rest of them, by the way?
Got yeeted off a crane.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And she's a force ghost.
She got Legopolis.
Coy didn't allow me to take the piss out of that, really, because he thought it was too sweet.
Yeah.
So, ghost.
I think some of the themes they're going for in this series are fine.
If
none of them have been executed well.
And relying less on metaphors.
Like say, a lot of them.
And it's annoying and it's preachy. And the last straw is Orphan 55 with that awful speech at the end. Full compass unity right there. Everybody hated that.
Because I guess you'd be in the camp of saying they're trying to pander to certain people. I will counteract it with this and say they have no person they're catering to. Because the Kablam episode basically is against workers and socialism in general. Then you have the other messages that are saying, which like...
You are literally the kid in that, you are. Yeah. You're the kid in there that the doctor
let the sisters take control!
She blew up a teenager.
Who just wanted more workers' rights.
Morally fucked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when she preaches so much more about morals, it's even more annoying. There was the Witch Trials one, which I wasn't looking forward to because I knew she'd rant about women. It just relied on the guy playing fucking King James.
Which no one liked, by the way. For whatever reason, people like, he shouldn't be camp, and it's like...
How did the Doctor win in that episode, by the way? How did she foil the villain?
I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a long time. Sorry.
I know the Doctor often foils the villain by pulling something right out of his hat.
Yeah.
Or somewhere further down.
Yeah.
But you got an even bigger sense of it throughout this run.
Yeah.
Dalek microwave.
I love microwaves. I think I've invented them.
Can you imagine if the War Doctor had said, I'm going to end it? Gets his fucking microwave, gets his beans in there, leaves the can on so it blows up.
Giant microwave on the horizon like that. And a kazoo version of this is the Gallifrey.
This is the level of hate for you. You don't like the writer. Oh god. With this, you don't like the writer. You don't like the cast. You don't like the composer either, do you? Because obviously now we've got.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him, but he's just bland.
Yeah, I was going to say it's very hard.
Compared to Murray Gold would have been blander. Like the Cyberman theme is just clang, 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 for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
I like
There's that-
a part of the Dalek theme. I like the opening. That's okay. That's okay.
Kind of beautiful in its own right.
Yeah.
Fitting of 13. No.
No. It's just very sad
get
not to have Murray Gold there anymore, honestly.
He's got less character to work with.
I guess. Because I
Yeah.
think even he'd struggle with that. What are they briefing him with for Jodie?
What
What do you
do they
think
give
on that piece of
Ryan?
paper? Something video gamey, I'd imagine.
Just because he plays FIFA.
Yeah.
In that one episode. He's not a true gamer if you play FIFA.
God damn it.
He's contributing to crunch culture, by the way, by playing FIFA, and the rotten company that is EA.
You know that I've got to talk about the Timeless Child.
The Doctor using the Master's race against him.
Yeah.
Morally fucked. Morally fucked.
That's worse than anything Six did, and he strangled a chick, you know?
Would you rather be strangled or thrown into the Nazis?
Doctor, what are you doing?
Your biggest weakness, your skin color.
But
Reverse the polarity of the race flow. Imagine if Ryan was there. What would the Doctor have to make him white with the perception filter?
Is it possible?
Yes, it's canon.
God.
Race perception filters are canon now. Do you remember when 12 said that Time Lords are beyond petty obsession with gender?
Yeah.
Dear Lord, how'd you cope with all that ego?
But does that mean
And then
every
you had
single
Master
one?
in the original hating women
Yeah, yeah.
and still hating women as Sim. So it was
Yeah.
even in New Who. It's like, stop trying to make Time Lords woke. Time Lords are not woke. They are an
Time Lords-
authoritarian nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's what woke is. Am I banned yet?
You're pushing the limits of opinions, bro. But no,
What's it-
Timeless.
Well, it's a dumb twist
Okay.
that makes the Doctor invincible, unless it's
Mm.
something we don't know. I tell you what, you know, female Doctor.
Okay.
It would have been better if we had an explanation as to how it's possible. Why have you been a man all this time and now you're a woman? How's it work? How does it work? Then it's easier to swallow. Black Doctor would be a bit easier to see as the same character. That's not too drastic a change. But you gotta explain it. Why is the Doctor black? Does he regenerate in a hotter climate so it compensates for it?
I just like
Because
the...
there's the scientific reason why black people exist.
Hmm.
So if he regenerates in Africa, he'll be black, and then you can have it. Except you'll be racist just for saying that, even though it's true.
No, I think it's completely random. But they've missed the boat on saying that.
Because it was 12. No, not even 12. How many times in a row?
13.
Where
13.
it was a white dude.
13.
Yeah. He used to be an old Queen's English man, and they'd slowly make changes, like make him younger, change the accent. So eventually you get Scottish person and someone as young as, Matt Smith. But I think they reached the limits, really. I think they hit the hard rules where he should be this, he should be this, he should be this, and all the other things could change.
I don't know.
Being a woman, deal breaker.
I don't
For
think
a lot
so.
of people. Do you think it's sexist to have that opinion, though? Because all kinds of opinions, people have that opinion. Like my lesbian sister has that opinion.
Yeah. I don't think that in itself is inherently a sexist thing, but I think the connotations a lot of people have when they explain their reasons are sexist.
For me, it's basically just consistency.
Well,
Like if the Doctor was a woman all this time,
yeah,
and became a man now, I'd feel the same way.
Yeah,
it'd be for the exact same reasons.
Again, I think Doctor Who is a very unique show where you can explain away anything, but you need to explain it.
There needs to be good reason. If you do it to play politics, which is what it kind of looked like.
Are you suggesting that's what they're
doing?
doing?
There was the glass ceiling teaser.
Yeah,
which was cringe.
The Doctor originally had one heart. The Doctor originally had no sonic screwdriver. The TARDIS was an invention that he made originally. You can change anything about this show.
If that was done today, with the internet, and with all the other competition around, like Netflix and stuff, that'd be shat on to death.
100%.
So the Times they do play a part in it. We've seen it with Timeless Child.
Yeah. See, again,
it's still on, and I think that's mostly because the BBC just don't want to admit that it's embarrassing what they have right now, and they'll go back on it. I think they're going to go back on it. Nobody likes it.
Whoever gets cast next, I don't particularly care about gender. I don't care about race. Just who can do the best. I would love a black doctor.
In that case, you do care.
Yeah. No, I
If
said
you'd love
I
it-
want.
if you-
I'd want
If
it.
you'd love it more. If
No,
you'd love it
no,
more.
Jesus
So you do want
Christ.
it. So it is part. You do want race to play a part. You want a black man. You want a black man. Small weed
I
every
want
day.
the best actor. The Timeless Child reveal doesn't actually change anything that we knew before.
There's all kinds of
Doesn't.
things I could say, but I'm letting you speak. Go on.
Okay, but the first Doctor's the first Doctor we ever saw.
Joe?
Unless Joe is the next Doctor, I'm not happy with it.
Isn't Joe a bit too human?
So was the 10th Doctor, but you all seem to love him.
Ah, he was very Time Lord. He was all over the place.
A lot
Still
of
did
people
that,
I've spoken to, we're all in agreement we don't want Ruth to be pre-first. Doesn't
She's
make
going to
any
be
sense.
pre-first.
If he can
He
make
wants
it make
to
sense.
He wants diversity, not just later in the Doctor's life, but before the Doctor's life. He wants that to be his legacy.
I've got to get going in a few minutes, so is there anything
I remember
we
you
want
telling
to
me
go on?
how many. I remember you telling me what was broken by Timeless Child.
I got very
Yeah.
angry when it first aired, yes. Came out of it saying, this book I've never seen before is the only real canon.
This
Listen to me."
virgin book.
Yes. Long
It's
barrel.
cancelled.
Me looking
You
into
know,
the camera.
Sasha understands the Master so much more than Jodie understands the Doctor.
Mm.
And the contrast between their performances is unbearable to watch.
Mm. You're praising Sasha there.
Ainley is still my bae.
Oh, Ainley is my favourite. Ainley's my
'Cause he's-
favourite.
The
Oh, my
smug
dear
anime
Doctor.
girl of Masters.
I feel like she's speaking this Doctor cool.
Doctor. It just reminds me of the smug Wendy's account, you know?
So, what is your final thoughts on? Is it just Chibnall bad?
I've got my reasons. It's fine if you disagree. Just don't call me a racist and a sexist and a capitalist, even though I am all those things. It's not the reason why I hate this. Okay. If I was a true racist, Fleming wouldn't be friends with me.
That's very true. His only defense, that will be his defense in court one day. I couldn't kill anyone out of hate. Friends of
I have
Josh.
a black friend.
We'll see you all soon then.
You better
And
get rid of me before I praise Trump some more.
yeah, go, bye.